All right, shalom, shalom, shalom. Before I start, I want to give all honors and glories and praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Yahweh Kakodash, Yahweh, which is the one true name of the Heavenly Father, Yahweh Shai, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, but his one true name is Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, because those are the men who I've learned this truth from through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Shai. Peace, blessings, salutations to the hopeful elect. And shalom to you, sincere brothers scattered abroad, pushing forth this word in truth and sincerity. I am the brother Mashiach Arazakah from the Servants of Yahweh Yahweh Shai Camp, Las Vegas, Nevada branch. And pretty much we're going to go into the, this lesson is basically going to be titled as the Sabbath is according to the moon. All right. And we're going to go into the scriptures of the proving that the Sabbath is according to the moon. So you can't get a Sabbath day without a new moon. All right. Because you got a lot of these jakes. They pushing forth that false doctrine where the Sabbath is every Friday sundown to Saturday sundown. They have the Friday sundown to Saturday sundown doctrine, which is totally incorrect. All right. You can't get a Sabbath day without the new moon. Now, I'm not saying that the Sabbath can't land on a Friday sundown to Saturday sundown. The Sabbath can land any day. It just all determines where the new moon comes in. All right, because people fail to realize the new moon is the beginning of months. The word month means moon. So we're going to get the scriptures out, and Lord willing, lessons edifying. This is Genesis 1:14. It says, and Allahayim. Now, when you read in the King James Bible, it says God there, but that word God in the Hebrew, it means Allahayim, which means powers. All right. This is Genesis 1:14. It says, and Allahayim, right, said, let there be lights in the firmament of heaven to divide the day from the night, and let them be for signs and for seasons and for days and for years. Right. So how are we able to know, according to the Bible, how are we supposed to determine and know what day we in? The moon. All right. The moon has different phases. That's how we truly are supposed to be able to get the Sabbath day. That's how you truly supposed to be able to know what day you in. Because notice in the Bible, it don't say Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. It don't say any of that. It says the first day and the 10th, the first month and the 10th day, the 5th month and the 17th day, the 6th month and the 9th day. It don't say Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. It don't say January, February, March, April, May, June. It don't say that. All that goes to the satanic origin of the Gregorian calendar. All right. That's not in the Bible. All right. So to determine to know what day you in, you're supposed to go by the moon. All right. And, one individual always told me this. If you were stranded on an island with no devices, no cell phone, no calendar, no nothing. All right. You just stranded on an island with absolutely nothing. How would you be able to determine the Sabbath? How would you be able to know? How would you be able to know when the Sabbath day is here without any electronic device? You won't have no choice but to look at where? The moon, the sky, the firmament, right? Because the firmament is the sky. Because you have the 3 layers of waters. Right, you have the so-called outer space, right? Then you have the layer, which is the firmament, which is the sky. Then you have the layers of water on the earth, because you have 3 layers of waters. All right, which is in Genesis, the 1st chapter. There's 3 layers of waters. All right, so that's what the firmament is. Genesis 1:14, and Allahayim, because Yahweh Shai and the angels, they created the earth. The Lord gave them the ability to be able to create on the earth. And it was Yahweh Shai, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, and the angels. They created the earth. All right? Because you got people that believe that the Messiah just came up in the New Testament only. No, he's all through the scriptures. He helped the Heavenly Father used him to create on the earth. Create all the creatures, all the animals, right? All the fruits of the land, the water. Yahweh Shai did all that with the angels. This is Genesis 1:14. It says, and Allahayim said, let there be lights in the firmament, right? To divide the day from the night. In the daytime, you see what? You see the sky, you see the clouds, you see the sun, right? You see birds flying in the air, in the sky, etc. And at night, you don't see the sun. You see the moon. You see the stars, you see the moon, right? And the sun is gone. You just see the moon, right? You see the moon and the stars, right? So that's how you determine the day from the night. Divide the day from the night, and let them be for signs and for seasons and for days and for years. So you're supposed to look at the moon. The moon tells you what day you're in, according to the scriptures, right? So you're supposed to go by the moon to determine the Sabbath day. All right. You cannot get a Sabbath without the new moon. And I got another precept. We're going to prove that. This is Sirach, and you can look this up. This is Sirach 43, and I'm at verse 6. It says, he made the moon also to serve in her season for a declaration of times. See, so the moon has different phases. By the moon having different phases, it's letting you know what day you in, according to the scriptures. Because there was no calendar. The calendar didn't come out till 1528. By the 13th Pope of Rome, Pope Gregory the 13th. That's the Gregorian calendar. The Gregorian calendar is a calendar that everybody uses in America. You have it on your cell phone. You have it on your walls. You have the January, February, March, leap years and all that. That all goes off of the Gregorian calendar. That's not according to the scriptures. It's not according to the Bible. Because the Israelites, when we were in the ancient world, we didn't go by no fucking calendar. Moses and them didn't even know what a fucking calendar was. They didn't know what a calendar was. They didn't know what Monday. You went to them talking about some Monday. They wouldn't even understand what the hell you was talking about. You had to go by the moon to know what day you in. You have to literally look at the moon and know what day you in. All right? You have to look at the moon to know what day you in. So that's what the scriptures are saying. This is Sirach. Let me turn this down a little bit. Get some air up in here. It says Sirach 43 and 6. It says, he made the moon also to serve in her perfection. Con. It says, he made the moon to also serve in her perfection. It says, he had made the moon also to serve in her season for a declaration of times and a sign of the world. So the moon, it lets you know what day you in. You have different phases, right? Verse 7, from the moon is the sign of feast, right? And it says, a light that decreaseth in her perfection. So a new moon is a full moon that's shaded. You cannot see. You cannot see the new moon. Because, you know, you got Bishop Nathaniel and them, they teaching that a full moon and that you see, if you see a full moon in the sky, that's the new moon. No, a new moon is a full shaded moon that you cannot see. You can't see it. The whole moon, the whole entire moon is completely covered. You can't see the new moon, right? So that the new moon is the beginning of months. The word month means moon. So to get a Sabbath, you have to get a new moon. Because the word month means moon. And that's where it says a light that decreaseth in her perfection. That's talking about a new moon. A moon that you can't see you cannot see the moon. When a new moon comes, you can't see it. Verse 8, it says the month, see, is called after her name. The word month means moon. So when you read Isaiah 66 and 23, that's talking about the new moon, which is the new month. So when you get a new moon, you get a new month. When you get a full moon, that means that the month is almost over and you're almost going into a whole nother lunar cycle. That's what the moon is used for. That's why the moon has different phases. You'll see a crescent moon, a waxing moon, a full moon. The moon has different phases letting you know what day you're in, according to the scriptures. This is verse 8. This is Sirach 43 and 8. It says the month is called after her name, increasing wonderfully in her changing. Because the moon has different phases. It lets you know what day you're in. You cannot get a Sabbath day without a new moon. You can't. Because you guys are just going Friday, sundown, Saturday, sundown, Friday, sundown, Saturday, sundown. You're missing the new moon. Because the new moon is a Shabbat. The new moon is a Sabbath day. What does scripture say in Psalms 81 and 3? It says, blow a shofar on the new moon and have a feast. Have a feast and blow a shofar on the new moon. The new moon is similar to a regular Shabbat, but it's different because you blow a shofar on that day. So we have actually two Sabbaths. When the new moon comes in, we have the previous Sabbath, and then we have the new moon Sabbath. So we actually have two Sabbaths. All right, we don't have them all through the lunar cycle, but once we have a new moon, we have the new moon Shabbat. Then there's 6 days, and then it's the Sabbath day. Then you get the Sabbath day. So the Sabbath day is going to be determined wherever the new moon lands. So the new moon can land on a Tuesday evening. The new moon can come in on a Friday evening. It can come in on a Sunday evening. It don't matter. It all depends on where the new moon comes in. All right. And if you go on Friday, sundown, Saturday, sundown, you got that as a doctrine only. Friday, sundown, Saturday, sundown. Then obviously you're not keeping the Sabbath correctly according to the scriptures. It says the month is called after her name, increasing wonderfully in her changing, being an instrument of the armies above, shining in the firmament of heaven. So the moon, the moon, right, when it shines and it lets you know what day you're in. You get a new moon, which is a full shaded moon. You cannot see it. You cannot see the new moon at all. It's completely covered. Then you get that little crescent moon, the little crescent moon, super crescent. You get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then it's the Sabbath day. So the Sabbath can come in. Let's say this new moon just passed actually. For this coming month, because we're already in a new month of the new moon cycle, due to the new moon cycle, right? The Sabbath is what? Thursday sundown to Friday sundown. That's the Sabbath for this month. But it's going to change again. So we have Thursday sundown to Friday sundown for this whole month. And then we have one more time of the lunar cycle previous to this month, which would be Thursday sundown to Friday sundown, and then the new moon will come in. So that would be Friday sundown to Saturday sundown. But right now, the new moon, the Shabath, correctly according to the scriptures, is Thursday sundown to Friday sundown. So you have to get a new moon to get a Sabbath day. You know, it says being an instrument of the armies above, shining in the firmament of heaven. It says the beauty of heaven, the glow of the stars, see, an ornament giving light in the highest places of the Lord. So when you looking up into the sky, you in the weather ways, you looking up into the kingdom, into the heavens, man. At night, because the moon is a full moon. You have a full moon, crescent moon, you have the stars. You looking up into heaven, man. You know? So you have to get a Sabbath. To get the Sabbath, you have to get a new moon. All right? Got a precept. And we're going to go into the Hebrew word for moon too in Deuteronomy 33 and 14. This is Deuteronomy 33 and verse 14. It says, and for the precious fruits brought forth the sun. See, because we have the sun in the daytime. It says, and for the precious things put forth by the moon at night. Because the moon lets you know what day you in. The moon lets you know what day you in. So when we go into, let me go into the blue letter. When we go into the blue letter, this is Deuteronomy 33, and we're gonna read verse 14. We're going into the meaning of that word moon.
Strong's H3391. Yerach.
So it's H3391, which is Yarach, which means what? See that? Right there. Right here. See that? Right here? Boom. It says month, lunar cycle, moon. Month, calendar, month. So the word month means moon. So you have to get a new moon to get a Sabbath day. And then when we go to the Hebrew, what's that called? Lexicon, which is basically in the Hebrew text, which is right here in the Hebrew text. And we're gonna see if the Israelites went Monday or Friday sundown, Saturday sundown. Let's see if Friday sundown to Saturday sundown is in this text. Let's see that. Let's see if Friday sundown, Saturday sundown is in this text for the Sabbath. It says a month which amongst the Hebrews was lunar. Let's read it again. A month which amongst the Hebrews was lunar. If you read at the top, see that? In the Hebrew text, lunar, right there. So the Hebrews, they didn't have a cell phone. They didn't have no damn calendar. They didn't have any of that. The only way they were able to determine and know what day they were in and able to know when the Sabbath was looking at the moon. That was the only way. There was no damn calendar. Let's prove that. There was no calendar in the time of Moses and them. They didn't even know what a fucking calendar was. Let's prove that. Now, this is the satanic origin of the Gregorian calendar. Any brother can put this in. Put in satanic origin of the Gregorian calendar. The Gregorian calendar is a calendar that everybody uses in America. Everybody has that calendar. You have it on your cell phone. You have it on your walls. Everybody has a Gregorian calendar. You get your Mondays through Fridays. You get your Januaries through Decembers. All right. You get all your leap years, your President's Days, all these bullshitty ass holidays. Right. That all goes off of what? The Gregorian calendar. We're gonna prove that. See, satanic origin. This is the 13th Pope of Rome, right? Saint Gregory the 13th, the 13th Pope of Rome. That's what he called himself. All right. It says Gregorian calendar. See, Gregorian calendar. Gregorian calendar created by Pope Gregory the 13th in 1582. 1582, not 1528, but 1582. It says it right here. You can look this up. It says goal was to update the Julian calendar to have Easter fall on a vertical equinox. So they created their own. That's what Esau did. He created his own years, his own times. He added leap years in there. That's what Esau did. Going into Daniel 7 and 25, right? He created his own times, own laws. That's what he did with the calendar. That's what he did with the time. Right? But let's get to the main thing. That was weird. But let's get to the main thing. Let's read more about this. It says, Pope Gregory XIII, though he expressed his conventional fears of danger from the Turks, right? Gregory XIII's attentions were more constantly directed to the dangers of the Protestants. It says, after the St. Bartholomew Day massacre of the Huguenots in France in 1572, Gregory created the Te Deum Mass, 3 frescoes in the Sala Regia Palace of the Vatican, right? Depicting the events that were painted. And you can read all this. You can read all the rest of this right here. So he created the Gregorian calendar. And as you look into the calendar, which I'm going to get out right now, I don't know why it keeps darkening, because Esau trying to be a devil. This is what Sunday means. Sunday. The word Sunday is Latin. It means dia solis, Sunday. It says creates the sun god Ra, right? That's what Sunday represents. Monday, it means lunas, right? Here it is for Monday. It says lunas, Monday, named in honor of the Assyrian goddess. That's what Monday represents. Tuesday, it means day of Mars. In Greek mythology, the Ares was the god of war. So all these are all mythical, named after Greek gods, man. Greek mythology. All that stuff. Greek mythology. Your Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, all the way to Fridays, man. All the way to Fridays. So the Gregorian calendar, if you guys got a chance, look up the Gregorian calendar and you'll get all that information. But I just want to get to the main thing. So this is the lunar calendar. So as you can see, you see that? You get a new moon. Then you get the other things. You see that? So it goes new moon. The new moon is a new month. And you see how it changes in different phases? That is how you get the Sabbath day. Now for some people that's new, this might be a little too hard for you. Too challenging for you. So you guys that get this, I don't know how to do it that way. I'm going to keep doing it Friday, sundown. Then you're going to be going off. The only way you're going to be able to get used to knowing when the Sabbath come in is by watching the elders, because they put videos up all the time of the new moon Shabbat. Or get you a lunar calendar. Get you a lunar calendar and start to get familiar with the moon, because you want to be celebrating the Sabbath day correctly. You don't want to be going off. All right? You don't want to be going off. You know the Sabbath is Friday. You know the Sabbath is according to the moon, and you go on Friday sundown, Saturday sundown. Now you're going off. You want to celebrate the Lord's high holy days correctly to the best of your ability. You ain't gonna keep it perfectly, but you want to do it to the best of your ability. This is Psalms 81:3, because this is how you're supposed to celebrate the new moon Shabbat, because the new moon is a Shabbat. Psalms 81:3. It says, blow up the trumpet in the new moon, right? In the time appointed on our Solemn feast day. So the new moon is a feast day. The new moon Shabbat is a feast day. You're supposed to blow a shofar and have a feast day on the new moon Shabbat. But you're not supposed to cook on the new moon. You're supposed to cook before the sun go down, before evening hits. So you want to have everything cooked, everything already prepped. And if you have a shofar, you blow a shofar in it and you have a feast. It's a little different from the regular Shabbat, but it's the same thing. You're supposed to keep, that's how you're supposed to keep the new moon Shabbat. And I'm ending it with this right here. This is Isaiah 66:23 to prove that the only way you can get a Sabbath is according to the moon. You have to get a new moon to get a regular Sabbath. This is Isaiah 66:23. And it shall come to pass that from one new moon to another, so from one new moon to another, we just had our new moon not too long ago. It's from Thursday sundown to Friday sundown. So this whole entire month, the Shabbat is going to land on Thursday evening to Friday evening, all this month. Now, when the next new moon come in, it will be Friday sundown to Sunday sundown. It changes, but it depends where the new moon comes in. It all depends on the new moon. Because sometimes you'll get a double Sabbath, where you'll get, finishing off the Sabbath for this previous month, and then the new moon will be right after. So you'll have, let's say, the new moon for this month is, which it is right now, is Thursday evening to Friday evening. And then once that sun go down, Friday evening to Saturday evening. It has happened like that too before. But it all depends on where the Sabbath comes in though. So this is why, again, you got to get familiar with the moon to know when the Sabbath is. If you know that the Sabbath is Friday, Sunday, is not. If you know that the Sabbath is the new moon, and then you're going away from that, is basically what I'm saying, into keeping it best for you, going back to Friday sundown, Saturday sundown. Now you're going off, because the Turks, the Turks made that a custom. The Friday sundown, Saturday sundown doctrine, that goes back to the Turks. The Turks did that shit. They took that shit and made it Friday sundown, Saturday sundown, and said that that's the Sabbath. Just like Christianity, they teach that Sunday is the Sabbath day, which that is off. The Sabbath can be any day. It all determines where the new moon comes in. Isaiah 66:23, it shall come to pass that from one new moon to another, and from one Sabbath to another. So once you get the new moon, the next following week the Sabbath is going to land on when the new moon landed, whatever day the new moon landed, that's going to be the Sabbath for this whole entire month. So for this month, the new moon landed Thursday sundown to Friday sundown. So for this whole entire month, the Sabbath is going to be Thursday sundown to Friday sundown. Now, you still got to finish off this month at the end of it. So you still got to keep Thursday sundown, Friday sundown, and then the new moon. Then it's the new moon, which will be Friday sundown and Saturday sundown. Then it's going to be that. But the moon changes. I mean, the days changes. It could be any day, depending on where the new moon lands. So read that again one more time, then we end it with this. Salakia for the rambling. Isaiah 66:23. And it shall come to pass that from one new moon to another, and from one Sabbath to another, shall all flesh come to worship before me, saith the Lord. So the only way you're going to get a regular Sabbath is if you get a new moon. That's how it's always been. You have to get the new moon. And the new moon is a Sabbath day. So you have to get a Sabbath, you have to get a new moon. So Lord willing, this lesson is edifying. I want to give all honors and glories, praise to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Kakodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Peace, blessings, salutations to the hopeful elect. And shalom to you, sincere brother, scattered abroad, pushing forth this word, truth, and sincerity. I am the brother Mashiach Arazakah from the servants of Yahweh, Yahweh Shai Camp, Las Vegas, Nevada branch. And Lord willing, this lesson is edifying. So hopefully you're not confused. But the only way you can get a Sabbath is according to the moon. If I was you, I would get a lunar calendar and get familiar with the moon. So then you'll be able to understand when the Sabbath is in. Because if you know that the moon, if you know that the Sabbath is according to the moon, and you're going back to the old ways of Friday sundown, Saturday sundown to keep it because you don't know how to keep it according to the moon, now you're going off. Because you have to keep it. Now that you know how to truly keep it, you have to keep it that way. You can't just do things to make things right for you. That's not how it works in the truth. So the Sabbath is according to the moon, not Friday sundown, Saturday sundown of every week. Because then that's irrelevant, because then how are you getting the Sabbath? The Sabbath is the seventh day, like it says in Exodus 20. It does say it. The Sabbath is the seventh day. The seventh day is not Saturday. The seventh day can be any day, just depending where the new moon comes in. Because if the new moon is the new month, so then you work 6 days and then you get the Sabbath. Simple as it goes. So Lord willing, this is edifying. Till next time I say, shalom.